Now, we're coming to the end of the show, so I just want to ask one final question of yourself, Konstantin. Oneness and separation, what perspective what take do you have on that?
Well, I think we need to... the Sufis say very simply, God had to manifest itself in order to know itself. And I think it's a similar type of process where individuation needs to occur first before we can realize that we are part of a universal source or pool of creation and constant growth and evolution. So for me, they are basically, one is the predecessor for the other in terms of a realization of what our true nature and source is.
Thank you, Konstantin. Elisabet, I'm going to just quickly mention to our listeners, by the way, first of all, before we finish off, for those of you who want to find out more about Dr. Elisabet Sahtouris, what you need to do is go on to the link that I've given you, the website that you're listening to, and it says more about Dr. Sahtouris. Click on there, and it will take you to her page. Her website is www.sahTouris.com, Sahtouris.com. You can also click on the link to find out more about her book as well. And the book is called, what is it called? Earth Dance. Do you want to say something briefly about your book, Elisabet?
Sure. Earth Dance, Living Systems in Evolution, tells in great detail some of the stories I touched on from the ancient bacteria up, and looks at how humans have seen themselves in relation to nature throughout our human history and what that means for us now. And there's also, I have another book called Biology Revisioned that was co-authored with Willis Harman, and a pretty illustrated book called A Walk Through Time from Stardust to Us, which is a book about the leading edge of scientific evolution. And then, there are all kinds of wonderful books I could recommend to you, like Kinship with All Life by J. Allen Boone, B-O-O-N-E, is a fabulous book for young people and old alike. It's a read aloud book even for families. And there I mentioned Charles Eisenstein's book. There are so many. There's Escaping the Matrix by Richard Moore. And just I know that people can find wonderful resources to give them encouragement. Also, of course, all those books like Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now and so that foster the unity and the understanding of ourselves in oneness. So have fun finding your own resources and finding your own way to build a better world.
That's right. And you're also coming to the UK for a book launch on November the 6th to London, actually. And do you want to briefly mention that? And for those of you who would like to go along there, it's being organized, not by us, it's being organized by the Science and Medical Network. Click on the bottom link and it will take you to that particular page. Do you want to briefly mention that event? It actually seems like a pretty all-day event or half-day event. I'm not quite sure. But
yes, well, the Scientific and Medical Network page will tell you where the book launch is going to be if you want. Prince Charles wrote one of the chapters for this book, and Peter Russell, whom some of you may know. And if you go to the network, I think they probably have more information on the book. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is now. I wrote it down this afternoon. Oh,
the name of the book is A New Renaissance. Is that the one?
Oh, and is it? Then they've changed it again. A New Renaissance.
Okay, a New Renaissance, yeah. The link's there for those of you who would like to come along. And I've actually have the agenda in front of me because the Science and Medical Network have... It's like a who's who of scientists and experts in the field of consciousness. It's absolutely brilliant. So I certainly hope for those of you who can make it, do go along. So click on the link and it will take you there. Elisabet, any final comments, any top suggestions for us as individuals?
Let me make one more book suggestion for understanding oneness much better. Our relationship to each other and consciousness is Mind Before Matter, which was also published in London, and I have a chapter in that one as well. So I think I've said it all. Find what makes your heart sing that will contribute to a better world and get other people to play with so that you have diversity in your group and you can keep encouraging each other, because this is the time of greatest opportunity, and we should almost be celebrating the crises along with mourning the pain that they cause so many people. We also should be glad that we've gotten to this point where we will be pushed into making a better world. So rather than just doing it under pressure, let's do it voluntarily.
Brilliant. Elisabet, thank you very much for coming on to the show. You've been absolutely phenomenal. I know I'm going to be listening to the replay of the show again and again, and I'll send you the link for it as well in a moment. And Konstantin, thank you once again for coming onto the show, and hope to see you again in a week or 2 weeks' time. For our regular listeners, next week we'll be interviewing, of all the people in the world to be interviewing, bionic woman, Lindsay Wagner. She's now focusing her attention and her work on energy healing, and so make sure you join me on the show. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you once again, Elisabet, and we hope to speak to you very soon.
Thank you, and goodbye to both of you.
Goodbye.
And to all the listeners.
Thank you very much, Elisabet.